Hello there, BoBo, the Bitcoiner is back. Today's subject, Bitcoin prediction or price prediction. You know, prediction is a double-edged sword. There are those who lean towards the positive, and there are those lean towards the negative. The undecided stay on the sideline, and since Bitcoin is already 14 years old, it is worth to consider what the expert predicted. First, let's document the optimist. They are the people who study, who scrutinize, and understand Bitcoin very well. Their prediction may be biased but worth deliberating, right? Now, who are these people? Okay, let me try to bring it here. Okay, let's start off with Cathie Wood. Now, Cathie Wood of ARK Invest is the first to apply the Bitcoin ETF 8 years ago. All right, she revised her earlier $1 million price target to 1.48 million by 2030. ARK Invest suggests Bitcoin could capture 25% of the remittance asset market. Given that Bitcoin has a fixed coin supply of 21 million, a target price of 1.48 million implies a total market capitalization of $31 trillion. Similarly, or similar to the S&P 500 of approximately 32 trillion today. Next, we have Michael Saylor, chairman of MicroStrategy, the most outspoken Bitcoin maximalist. Explain if three conditions are met. One, if Bitcoin ETF is approved, Bitcoin halving in the April 2023, and that is a certainty. And three, the fair value accounting, which is already approved by the FASB of America. Now, Bitcoin, with these three, Bitcoin will return to the previous high of 69,000 within 4 years and trade at $500,000 in the coming decade. Long term, Bitcoin could hit $5 million. Then you have Standard Chartered Bank. They have boosted its Bitcoin price forecast to $120,000 by the end of 2024, a 300% leap. Next, we have Raoul Paul, Real Vision CEO. He updated his outlook on the Bitcoin after a massive rally amidst the US banking failure early this year. Bitcoin will rise to $50,000 according to him, and over time to $100 to $200,000. It's a matter of when, and the timing is part of the red herring, according to him. Okay, now we have Adam Black, Blackstream CEO. He is the closest to Satoshi Nakamoto today. I mean, he's alive. He invented the hash rate mentioned in Satoshi's white paper. He's confident Bitcoin will hit an all-time high of over 100,000 before the halving in 2024. He even predicted that Bitcoin could reach $10 million by the 6th halving in 2032. Samson Mao, CEO of Gen 3, dedicated to educating the governments all over the world about Bitcoin, provided guidance to El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele on their Bitcoin-backed volcanic bond worth $1 billion. He predicted in July this year that Bitcoin could reach a staggering $3 million in the next 10 years. Jack Mallers, CEO of Strike, predicted Bitcoin will reach $1 million due to the global hyperinflation. Tim Draper, a billionaire venture capitalist investor, predict Bitcoin will reach $250,000 by the end of this year. Thomas Lee, partner of Fund Street Global, predicted Bitcoin could reach $100,000 next year and $200,000 within the next 5 years. Arthur Hayes, former CEO of BitMEX, predicted Bitcoin price could reach $760,000 due to the intersection of AI with crypto. Robert Kiyosaki, the famous author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, in July this year predicted Bitcoin would rally to $120,000 due to rising inflation and recently announcement by the BRICS nation. He thinks Bitcoin will hit $500,000 by 2025. Panthera Capital analysts predict Bitcoin price will surge to $146,000 by mid-2025 due to the upcoming halving in 2024. Okay, JP Morgan Strategies published in February 2022. Bitcoin long-term target is $150,000, up from $146,000 last year. Bitcoin, a popular social media commentator, has $250,000 target after the next halving. Scott Merker, better known as the Wolf of Wall Street, on Twitter, takes responsibility seriously and will not share tweets that might impact the market. Yet, he thinks the next Bitcoin cycle would be 100 to 250,000, and after that, the market will see another huge decline before it hits $500,000. Okay, Mark Yusko, CIO and MD of Morgan Creek Capital Hedge Fund, believe if Bitcoin is approved, this could usher in Bitcoin market capital of $30 trillion, which is currently sit at $500 billion market capital. That literally means 60 times from today, and this works out to roughly $1.5 million per Bitcoin. Eric Butchulnas, Bloomberg ETF analyst, also support Yusko theory of Bitcoin market reaching $30 trillion. He went on to believe that BlackRock application, there is a 95% chance that it will be approved by next year. Now, Larry Fink, by now the most famous guy on the Bitcoin circle, CEO of BlackRock, recently converted into a Bitcoiner. He used to be a critic of Bitcoin. He computes that the trade utility risk aversion coefficients, which was famously held at 60-40 allocation. In other words, equity 60%, bond 40%. These are the normal asset allocation. Now, BlackRock optimal trade risk aversion is 84.9% Bitcoin. Equity 9%, and bond only 6%. No, he goes on to compute. Currently, the world total asset market is 800 trillion. All right, of which it consists of 12 trillion in gold, 350 trillion in real estate, 300 trillion in debt, 90 trillion in equity, 100 trillion in bond and fiat. All right. And conservatively, if 85% of 800 trillion will be equal to 860 trillion demand for Bitcoin, and divide that by 11 million Bitcoin, you are talking about one Bitcoin, $32 million, 32,380,952 million dollars. He's now bullish that Bitcoin will eventually regain its 1 trillion market capital. He just thinks that it will take a longer time than what most people are thinking. For amusement, okay, I asked Microsoft Chat, which is another version of ChatGPT, upgraded version by Microsoft. The answer for 2025 is $39,546 at the low end, and $177,384 at the upper end. The price prediction for 2030 is $152,110 lowest part, and $269,710 at the highest. Now, interestingly, when I search for Bitcoin prediction, it's almost, or when I search for the pessimist Bitcoin price prediction, it's almost none. There are a lot of criticism of Bitcoin, but only a handful care to predict. And those who do, none predicted less than $10,000. Of course, in the case of Warren Buffett, he said even at $25 he will not buy. The Bitcoin bear normally predict Bitcoin can drop nearly 15% by year end, or could drop as low as 21,750 in the coming months, possibility of retreat towards the bear market trend line support of to $23,000. See, the significance of the difference between the pro and the con is readily obvious, right? It's almost 50-1. The pro Bitcoiner predict with explanation. The con are far and few in between. So the lesson drawn here could be that after 14 years of Bitcoin existence, there is not much that the pessimists could denounce or find fault with Bitcoin anymore. Those who criticize Bitcoin of being the scam, Bitcoin is being used by the criminal for illicit transaction, Bitcoin will bubble and go to zero, practically all disappeared. Only the die-hard anti-Bitcoin remains. People like Warren Buffett, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Congressman Brett Sherman, and of course Peter Schiff, the go back. So the moral of the story is, how can you not believe in Bitcoin anymore? With 95% chance of Bitcoin ETF being approved by next year, which means government approval, as predicted by Bloomberg ETF analysts. And then Harry Finch global asset allocation, 85% to Bitcoin, 9% to equity, 6% to bond. Even if you don't understand at all, or you don't understand Bitcoin at all, you don't believe Bitcoin anymore, right? So looking at all the prediction from the minimum of $100,000 to $1 million and multiples, anywhere you draw the line, it has to be 100,000 to 300,000 by next year, and high chance of reaching $1 million by 2030, which I have all along been predicting these numbers. Isn't it time that you should do something? There are two things, or only two things, that you could be still hesitating. One, you don't have the fund to invest. No worry. You don't have to buy one Bitcoin. On the whole, start at $100 a week or even $100 a month. At least you could get onto the train. Second thing, alternative is you don't believe Bitcoin anyway. Okay, your choice, of course, right? Interesting prediction. If you go through all those famous people who understand Bitcoin and believe in Bitcoin and see and hear what they predict of Bitcoin into the future. Do your own homework, do your own research, get into Bitcoin as soon as you can. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.